Google's Project Fuchsia finally emerges from mothballs and shows us an alternative to Android. Apple's Phil Schiller just chimed in on a future smart speaker that's different to everything else, and Microsoft hints to major changes to the next Surface Pro. I'm Jaime Rivera, and because I've not read in your comments any sort of complaints about Monday jokes, I assume I can go back to them. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals. The LG V20 continues to be one of the smartphones that we recommend most. I highly suggest you watch Juan's latest After the Buzz on the V20. Every single one of his talking points is the way I feel about the phone. It is an amazing piece of hardware, and there's a trusted seller on eBay that's got the Sprint variant for just $300. You're not going to find a better deal on this phone, like seriously. Now let's move the spotlight over to Harman Kardon and Microsoft, as well, both companies have just announced their Invoke speaker. The problem is everything that's usual with Microsoft of old that apparently just came back, because this is a Cortana-based speaker. I love the concept of this being a Harman Kardon speaker that's Cortana enabled. It means that this is not the only brand that'll do it. You know what the problem is? That it gets announced today and it won't be launching until the fall, and there's no price point. I mean, come on, Microsoft, don't pull another Windows 10 Mobile here. And speaking of Microsoft, we've got company executives sort of chiming in on the future of the Surface Pro lineup. By the way, the Surface Pro 4 continues to be one of my favorite computers out there. And, well, we hear that the successor could be called Surface Pro 5, could be called Surface Pro Next, but the most interesting part is that apparently, well, the company's not going to budge on the price tag. What they will do is budge on innovation and bring something completely different to this possible tablet computer or whatever it's going to be called. I can't wait to see what we get. Now let's move the spotlight again to speakers, but this time to Apple. Phil Schiller was recently on record in an interview, and while being asked what he thought about devices like Amazon's Alexa speaker, the Echo, or for example Google Home, he didn't really hint to the fact that Apple's working on something, but according to him, what's really sad about these products is that they lack a screen. There's really no other way to interact with them but with voice. Obviously that's the whole idea. The whole idea is that you only interact with them with voice, but most of us that have used devices like Google Home will feel that it would be awesome to have a separate interface. So could it be that this is what Apple is going to bring with their Siri speaker? And finally, the very hot news today has to do with something we talked about a year ago. Actually, more than a year ago. Do any of you remember Project Fuchsia, which was Google's possibility of building yet another operating system? Well, it turns out that we've got some leaked information on video that shows the operating system working. There's an image of it that's out there, and well, it's completely different to Android, but on a kernel level and in pretty much everything else. Apparently, it's not going to be using Android's Linux-based kernel. Apparently, it's going to be using its proprietary Magenta kernel. 1, 2, the user interface is card-based. And we're wondering exactly what the whole point of this will be if, again, it's not going to be based on Android. It actually leads me to the question of the day. Watch the video in the link in the description and tell us, what do you think about this? Do you think that it's time for another operating system? Because in my case, I feel it's not. It took forever for other operating systems like Palm OS or Web OS, Windows 10 Mobile, all these operating systems to die, Symbian as well, in order for two operating systems to take the cake, which are iOS and Android. So why do we need more if these others weren't able to survive? If only because whatever is coming in Project Fuchsia will be so much better than what we currently have, but not from what we saw in the video. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, you know the way it goes. If you want to get the news earlier before the video is filmed, follow us on Pocketnow.com and hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.